Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Dave, and for this video I'm going to do something a little bit different. So other than working on my cars and just doing regular garage stuff, I do like to tinker with other things such as knives, EDC kind of things. So this past weekend there was actually a blade show in Atlanta and I got to go visit. Okay, so clearly I meant to release this video sooner. Unfortunately, the stuff that I recorded, I just didn't like the look of it, and I know I'm just a newcomer to all this. I still want to do my very best and provide quality content, so I ordered a few little minor recording accessories, different stand, microphone, and then family events got in the way. I ended up getting sick, wasn't feeling good all last week, and then just progressively got worse to where I almost lost my voice. Today I'm feeling alright. And then I also realized that the sound wasn't still quite right, so I ended up slapping a piece of foam board as a makeshift soundproofer for the echoes. Overall, I think the clips that you'll see, hopefully they're good for you. If you see something you don't like, please let me know. If you have any suggestions, I'm all ears. I'm pretty new to this. Overall, this is all just for fun, and so take everything you see with a grain of salt. Enjoy the video. So I'm gonna give just some initial thoughts of being a newcomer into the scene on the show itself and just show what I got. Oh, and while I was recording the new clips for the knives, obviously I am still not fully recovered, so I apologize about my voice. So to start things off, I went by the Protect booth. I was able to pick up my very first Malibu, which also happens to be my very first button lock. Now, a nice thing about this blade here is that it is Magna Cut. And cool one is that this was actually one of the Blade Show specials with their mosaic pin, as well as their numbers on it. So this is number 38 out of 200. And it was really cool to be able to be served by none other than the founder of Protect, which was Dave Wettenberg. My second pickup from the show came from Jack Wolf's Knives, where I actually got to meet Ben and his father, who was there just as a visitor at the show. And I ended up with the Dark Matter Gold Fat Carbon. I really wanted this look just because it reminded me of a wood pattern. As you can see, it kind of matches the wood here on this bench top. Overall, it's a really, really nice knife. I actually got to carry it for a week. I'll be putting a simple review up shortly whenever I feel better. And let's see if I can get this right. There we go. It's already got some use to it. So this is a Crucible SV90 blade, full titanium hardware, and I really like the action on it. Really smooth. I ended up being one of my favorites to carry around, it being so thin and lightweight. Yellow accents really pop. They look really nice in the pocket. Overall, cool knife. I'm excited to see what other folders, specifically locking folders, he comes up with. My third stop actually ended up being close by at Vero Engineering, and I ended up getting the Synapse. This is the regular size one with a, I believe, a Bowler M390 blade, number 910. So I think this is their Gen 3, if I'm not mistaken. Ended up getting the belt satin finish with the marbled carbon fiber scales. Really, really nice knife. Same thing as the Jack Wolf's, where it's a bolster frame lock. And the action is superb. Sounds great, feels really nice and solid. I think this also is just one of those actions that you honestly can't get enough of. The guy that actually ended up helping me out was Paul from Vero Engineering. Oh, and I almost forgot. I wanted to get a small pry bar that could fit in one of my pouches that I'm building up, specifically one that doesn't have a knife in it. So I figured this fit the bill really nicely. Now, this was their last one that they had at the table, and at that point it wasn't a big deal because, I mean, look at the pattern on that. Really, really neat laser anodizing on it. The only thing that I'll probably do in the future is just remove the clip itself and put it to a clipless design. But it's really nice. It's got the 2 bits, and it does have more bits in the box, and it just kind of pops right in there. Overall, really, really nice pry bar. Can't wait. For my third knife, I didn't think I would actually get this model, but I did stumble upon Ben Peterson at his booth, and we got to talking. A super nice guy, really genuine. It's kind of funny when you're at something like this and the person, I wouldn't call him a salesperson, but you know, it is his product and they are selling their stuff there. He was actually trying to avoid me from spending more than I should. Granted, that being said, this is obviously on a very friendly budget. This is the original NAF's Lander, and for the money, it's got a really smooth action and really nice looking blade. But what actually caught my attention was there was a Lander that had these carbon fiber scales put on, and what was kind of neat about it was that these scales actually had a little spot for a tweezer here, let's see, and a toothpick. So I thought that was really neat. Unfortunately, you couldn't just buy the knife as that. You had to get the knife and the scales to be able to do that, which wasn't a big deal. I really liked it, and I figured, you know, this is a really nice small carry, but I just never seen anything like it, and I like the idea of having 2 little tools in the knife every now and then, so ended up getting it. Ben, thank you. It was really awesome to meet you. And almost forgot the name of these. Scales are from Unlocked Composites. Ben did tell me that this is a guy that he knew that actually makes the shells for aerial drones, so you know they have to be lightweight, so this is kind of like the same material, so it's really neat. So at the show, I did stop at the Benchmade booth to check out the new Narrows as well as the Immunity, and both of those knives were actually really cool. I know that the price of the Narrows was kind of crazy. I kind of wanted to get it. Even after holding it, I didn't think it was, you know, too crazy. I understand the pricing from a manufacturing standpoint. Things are just getting a little bit more expensive. But that being said, I couldn't justify it at that moment. So there was a knife that I actually ended up checking out that fit the bill for what I was looking for in terms of the shape, the thinness of it, and just the ease of carry. That ended up being the Spydiechef. Really nice fat belly blade there with it's a LC 200 or LC 20N blade, so it's a stainless type of blade. This has been used. This is one of their Taiwan-made models, but it just feels really nice. The look is really minimalistic, which I like, and it has already cut up a fruit for my daughters. Really like this knife. Spydiechef brand is actually what got me in this hobby to start with, and I thought it'd be cool to own a titanium model. My next stop ended up being Big Idea Design. While I was not expecting them to have a knife there, they actually were showcasing their new upcoming pocket knife. I did not get it just because I wasn't planning on it, but I was planning on getting their Bit Bar 2. And a small pen for one of my pouches. This one was obviously a Blade Show special, and I think they have some left on their website. One thing I liked about the EDS2 that I got from them a while back was how small and compact it was, and just its versatility. Now granted, I really like their stuff so much that I figured, get the Bit Bar 2 for the pouch that I'm making that doesn't have a knife, and I like the idea of just having multiple bits. And it also came with a nice extension on it, and a leather sleeve pouch that you could just slide it all into. Now granted, I won't be using this, and maybe not this either, just because I have so many of these random Milwaukee ones, so I figured why not just start using them. And black goes with black there. Overall, really nice tool. Has been used once again already. And it just gives it a little bit more versatility than the EDS. I think it's just a little chunkier hold on there. You can carry a lot more bits. So this is kind of good for just around the house, and good for honestly to have in any sort of car kit. So with all the knives that I bought, I wanted to be able to keep them nice and clean and also protect them. So I stopped by the Wicked Wax booth. I do like this stuff, specifically their wax, because it is food safe. So something like my Spydiechef, I can clean it. Obviously you want to make sure that you take off all the abrasive, because that's the only thing that is not toxic, but you definitely don't want to be eating it. And then cover it with the wax. So it being, a knife where I suspect I'll be chopping off some fruit here and there randomly whenever the girls get hungry, it'd be nice to have something that is obviously safe to use. So this item fit the bill. I ended up getting a combo. They gave me the 2 samples for free, and their combo came with the nice microfiber towel and these 2 bigger containers. Another non-knife stop for me was Notorious EDC. Specifically really just to meet Tom. Really nice guy, super genuine. And while I personally am not currently in the market for a slip joint, I did want to, provide him some business, so I ended up getting a patch from him. This really nice blacked out patch here. First one here that I actually use, and I went ahead and slapped it on my everyday carry pouch. And then actually, what's impressive about it is that this goes in and out of my pocket every single day, and it has not given out or tried to lift off the pouch at all. So impressive stuff. It looks really nice. I do like the blacked out look, and overall just cool dude. Now the kingpin that he designed is a really nice knife, and if I am ever in the market for a slip joint, I will definitely check his out more thoroughly. My last purchase of the day did not come from the Microtech booth, but from Smoky Mountain Knives. And this is their X-Wing Rebellion Ultratech. This was one of the 50 prototype units that they had. I'm personally not a double-edged kind of guy, but overall just the aesthetic of this knife is sick. Really cool conversation starter. I've already carried it, a couple days here and there. It just looks really nice, really cool in the pocket. And I didn't think I would actually like carrying around an Ultratech, but it's neat. Overall, it is a really, really nice blade, and this one is a Magna Cut blade as well.
Alrighty, so for Blade Show itself, the initial impression was that it was a lot, especially from a newbie that has never been to a Blade Show and is relatively new to the EDC knife scene. Always been interested in knives, but never taken a deep dive as I have recently. So there are a few things that I learned, and it's really 3 main things that I kind of want to point out. The first one being plan a route. Follow the brands that you like and make sure that you take a screenshot or whatever, map of the floor plan for the show itself, and have a general route that you want to try to follow. I found myself walking back and forth between the showrooms and even within the showrooms, just like through all the booths, and I found that it was just like a waste of time, especially since I was already tired from the day prior from coming back from a family trip. So that was a lot. And it's okay to deviate, but it's just good to have a general route and an idea of who you want to go visit. But if you have time and energy for after, definitely go check out makers that you never heard of or ones that you were maybe interested in. Alrighty, so for number 2, it is have a budget. That being said, your budget, you should understand what you want to try to get, if you're trying to get anything at all, and what you may run across. So build in a buffer. The way that I did it was I understood the prices of the knives that I was looking at, or EDC, stuff like that, and I had an initial budget from there, and then I added just a little bit of buffer in case I ran in something that kind of caught my attention, such as the Nafslander. Pretty easy overall, nothing too wild, but yeah, have a budget. And third is talk. It's really fun to just get to meet and greet the makers, random people, whether it be from waiting in line and stuff like that, and just to hear their stories, hear the interest. Whenever you go to these shows, you're surrounded by mostly people with the same interest in terms of the hobby as you. So you can learn a lot, especially newbie like myself, whether it be from learning about, different blade styles, shapes, what got them into the hobby, what suggestions they have for kind of going throughout this whole venture. And I think one of the memorable moments was just getting to meet a guy that had been visiting blade shows since the 80s. And he had only missed 2 of them during the COVID season. So that was really neat. Overall, I would definitely do it again. Definitely gonna go again next year. Maybe do the Friday day on the early bird and see if that's any different. Saturday was actually a pretty nice day to go, simply because I think since people had already gone on day 1, the crowds may not have been as crazy to go in. I see the videos online of the blade show of people just like stampeding through the door. Granted, I was not near the front of the line, so that may have been the case, but I was actually able to get up to the booths relatively quickly without any sort of wait. I think the only wait that I saw was in the Microtech booth, but I think that was to actually physically purchase the knives or whatever, because as some booths work is that you go up to them, you tell them what you want, and then they move it over to the register, and then you get in line for the register. Overall, fun experience. If anyone that's watching this video, it was their first time going, let me know kind of what you thought. If anybody is experienced and has gone or seen things before, just let me know any suggestions that you would give to newcomers into the hobby, and let us know what you got. And if you like this video, hit that like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.